are so ugly, they're cute. I love them.
So I'm making the back doors for the, what is it, hen house? It's gonna be a pair of doors that open out so that you can stand there at the back of it and clean it all out. And each door of the pair is composed of two individual doors that are nested together. And in the smaller door will be an acrylic clear glass plastic panel. And that can be closed when we're trying to keep the wind out. It'll probably be open most of the time. So you can open this one, and inside the bigger door will be the wire mesh. So these are the double doors that we put on the back. They open like that to clean them out. The other one is locked in. And you can open it up, hang them open, and clean out the hen house. The other way they work is open down. These are the polycarbonate panels in this door, and this door can be pinned back to stay open during the day. And so that'll ventilate the thing, and it's under cover, so it shouldn't get any rain. But if we do have a problem with rain, we'll probably cut an opening in the top for ventilation. But that's how the hardware's set up on the back doors. Today's effort is installing the wire. So I put on the first piece. You can see it here. I've just kind of tacked it up for now, but I'm installing it horizontal, and it's the perfect height. From that intermediate to the top is exactly 4 feet, and from there to the bottom is 4 feet. And so I can run 2 rows all the way around. And if I had help, I would do this as one piece, continuous all the way around. I could go 3 sides in one roll and get it around to there and stop. But because I'm doing it by myself and it's wet out here, I think I'm going to make it easy on myself and just do the individual faces, piece at a time. So I made a slight miscalculation in the amount of wire that I was going to need to do this. I've now put all the wire on there that's going on there, and used all the wire I'm going to use for everything else. And I got to have more than half of a roll left, and I bought 2 rolls. And I don't know how I miscalculated that so bad, but I should be able to return one. Alright, so I looked at it. I do have probably right at half of that roll left. I ordered a roll of 1/2 inch heavier gauge wire to route along the bottom that I would then cover with dirt. But I think I'm going to take the idea of a bird in the hand, and I'm going to use the rest of that roll, and I'm going to lay it down here. It's a little more fragile and it may get some holes in it, but it's going to be covered up with dirt, and it's about keeping any predators that want to get in the coop from getting in. So I think I'm going to go with that, and then I can start moving the dirt, and then I'm done. I mean, I got to put some trim and put the rest of the door hardware on that has to go over the mesh for the man door, but I may be able to get this thing finished today, so we'll see. I just finished putting the wire down, extending it out to keep critters from tunneling under to get into the coop. In order to make the coop level back here, we had to raise it up quite a bit. So it's probably up, I don't know, 8-9 inches off the natural grade. And so I hemmed that in all pretty tight all the way around. So I think I've got a pretty good critter-proof structure here. And now I'm going to go get the backhoe, and I've got a dirt pile on the other side of the yard here, and I'm going to start moving dirt, including infilling inside the coop. I'm going to bring it up at least to the bottom of the 4x4s there. So a couple 3 hours of moving dirt, some by loader, some by hand, most by hand. Got it built up plinth here pretty well. It needs to still be compacted in and graded out and everything, but I think it turned out pretty well. I still got to finish the door hardware for the man door. I'm going to try and get that done this afternoon, but I think I'm done playing in the dirt for the day. So I'm working on the ramp from the hen house down to the coop floor, and I'm building it out of a 5/4 deck board, and it's about 5.5 feet long. And so I needed some little grip strips or stepping blocks for them to run up. And so I cut these out of another deck board, and I'm going to put them probably 2 or 3 inches apart, but I'm looking at them and the edges are really sharp. So I wanted to round off the edges, but I don't have a router table, and this is too small to run the router over. So I came up with this. I clamped the router down, and it gives me call it a poor man's router table. Now I know this is not exactly kosher, and getting your thumbs this close to a bit can be dangerous, but the minute you disrespect this thing or don't respect it, it'll cut your finger off. But I'll show you what I'm doing. And so it gives you a rounded off edges.
Nice.
Go nail them on.
Now wait a minute. Is that where it's going?
That's where it's going. I figured it'd be good if it's off the dirt, because you're going to be raking in here and you can rake under it, and they can easily jump up on that. So it's not a big deal.
Okay, interesting.
And if we want to cut it shorter and put it in the dirt, we can do that, but it just makes it steeper.
Yeah. Okay. The ramp is done.
So I got the tie backs put on the doors, and I put the stops around the back door. So this is where it is if you have both doors open.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just open this with this door closed, the eyelet is here.
Okay.
So they didn't line up. So what you do, close this one, open this, and you'll keep that open.
Oh. Awesome.
Same thing with this one. Close this.
Nice. You know what I love about this, about the way you designed it, is that the door is not hanging out over here. Because I've seen so many chicken coops on YouTube, and they've got these doors just hanging out.
And that was one thing
I didn't like that.
definitely wanted. I mean, I thought through it to a point, but I didn't want it out past the eave.
Yeah.
As long as it's under the eave, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, but I just like that it doesn't hang over the edge of the wall. I think that looks really nice. If I get locked in, there's no handle or anything. Just pull this, and it raises that up, and I can get out. So we're in a heat stretch. It's supposed to be over 100 for like 10 days in a row. It's gonna be miserable. So just putting this sunshade there just to keep the sun off the coop. I'm not even quite done painting the whole thing yet, but we've got to get them inside because we're going out of town. So I want to hurry up and get them from there and bring them over to their coop this evening. So I've been bringing them inside every night into the shop, but when it's this hot, it doesn't cool off till like 11 o'clock at night. And so we leave the doors open so air can flow through, but you know, we have to keep a light on, and we're worried about raccoons and snakes getting in there. So our goal is to go ahead and get them in here tonight, because there'll be at least a lot more airflow. So that's what we're working on. That's awesome. That's so much more shade. All right, so we got some pieces of wood over here, some perches. So have some places to stand. And underneath in the corners. And we're going to put sand in here, but that's coming a little bit later. And in here, we have some 2x4s for them to perch on.
Hi, birdies. Are you ready to go to your new house?
I've already told them.
What are we doing? Ready? Come on. Look at them. Like, what? Hi. Come on out. It's okay. It's okay. Come here, Layla. Come here, baby. Check it out. Hi, baby. There you go. Oh my goodness, where are we?